Hello and welcome. Look at this amazing creature right here on your screen. It's standing inside a glowing magic circle under the moonlight. This is a griffin. Isn't it incredible? Just look closely at it. You can see it's made from two powerful animals. It has the strong body, legs, and tail of a lion, the brave king of the animals on land. But its head, its sharp eyes, and its huge wings are like an eagle's, the powerful king of the birds in the sky. It's a mix of the best of the earth and the best of the air. A lion and an eagle together in one creature. Now, seeing this griffin standing there, strong and watchful, you have to ask, why? Why did people thousands of years ago even think of a creature like this? Why mix these two animals together? Was it just a monster for exciting stories? Or does it mean something more? That's the big question we're exploring today. This griffin isn't just some random fantasy beast. For centuries, people thought it was very important. They told stories about it, put pictures of it everywhere, on buildings, on shields, in books. There must be a reason why it was so popular for so long. And the reason, the secret, is connected to us. The griffin is like a mirror. It shows us some of the biggest, deepest feelings and wishes that all humans share. Things like wanting to be strong and powerful, things like wanting to feel safe and protected, and things like wanting to guard the people and things we really care about, our treasures. So, as you keep watching this griffin in its magic circle, we're going to talk about these ideas. We'll look at its lion part and its eagle part. We'll talk about the treasures it guarded and the safety it represented. We'll see how this ancient idea connects to feelings we still have today. By understanding the griffin, we can understand a bit more about these important human wishes. Let's find out what this amazing creature really means. All right, let's really look at this amazing griffin standing here in the magic circle. To understand its secret, we need to think about its different parts. Why did people choose these specific animals? A lion and an eagle. What did these animals mean to them? First, look at its body. See how strong it looks? The powerful legs, the muscular chest, the long tail whipping behind it. That's the lion part of the griffin. Now, think about lions. For thousands of years, people have seen the lion as the king of the animals on land. Lions are symbols of incredible strength. They are brave. They are courageous. They don't back down from a fight easily. When you think of a lion, you think of raw power, the kind of power that rules the earth. Imagine the feeling of that strength. People respected lions, maybe even feared them a little, because they represented pure, ground-level power and authority. So, when people imagined the griffin having the body of a lion, they were giving it that same amazing earthly strength, that courage, that royal power that everyone recognized. Look at the griffin standing there. You can almost feel that lion power in its strong legs and body. Now, lift your eyes and look at the griffin's head. See those sharp, watchful eyes? That strong, curved beak? And don't forget those magnificent wings, folded now perhaps, but ready to open wide. That's the eagle part of the griffin. Just like the lion is the king on land, the eagle is the king of the sky. Eagles fly higher than almost any other bird. They have incredibly sharp eyesight. They can see tiny things moving far, far below them. Imagine being able to see like that. Eagles represent freedom, the ability to soar above everything. They also represent vision, not just seeing well, but maybe understanding things from a higher place. In many old cultures, people connected eagles with the sun, with the heavens, even with the gods. They were seen as messengers between the sky and the earth. So, the eagle part gives the griffin this amazing power of the sky, incredible vision, speed, freedom, and maybe even a connection to something higher, something divine. Look at the griffin's head now. You can imagine those sharp eyes missing nothing. So, here's the really clever part. The people who imagined the griffin didn't just choose one powerful animal, they chose two kings, the king of the land and the king of the sky, and they put them together. Why would they do that? Think about it. What if you could have the lion's incredible strength and courage plus the eagle's amazing vision and freedom? You wouldn't just be strong on the ground, you could also see everything from above. You wouldn't just be brave, you'd also be wise and able to see trouble coming from far away. You'd have power over the earth and the sky. You would be, well, you'd be incredibly powerful, almost unstoppable. This combination is the griffin's first big secret. It represents the wish for ultimate power. Not just one kind of power, but all the best kinds combined. It's about wanting to be strong and smart, wanting to be brave and have great vision, wanting to be powerful in the world around us, like the lion, but also have high ideas and understanding, like the eagle. Look at the griffin standing there in the circle. It's the perfect picture of this combined power. It has the lion's strong base, firmly on the ground, but the eagle's head and wings reach for the sky. It joins earth and heaven together in one amazing creature. Don't we all sometimes wish we had that kind of power? Maybe not to rule the world, but to handle the challenges in our own lives? Think about a time you wished you were stronger to face something difficult. Or a time you wished you could see the situation more clearly, like the eagle, to know what to do. Or maybe you wished you could combine your practical skills with your creative ideas more effectively. That feeling, that wish to bring together different strengths to be the best we can be, that's what the griffin shows us. It's a symbol of mastery, of being really good at things, not just in one way, but in many ways working together. It's about putting together the physical and the mental, the practical and the visionary. So, when ancient people drew griffins or told stories about them, they weren't just making up a cool monster. They were creating a powerful picture of what perfect strength and ability might look like. They were expressing a deep human desire, the desire to be capable, to be effective, to have the power to face the world and succeed. The griffin, this amazing mix of lion heart and eagle eyes, is the symbol of that powerful wish. It's the dream of being complete, strong in body and sharp in mind, ready for anything. Just look at it standing there. Doesn't it look ready for anything? That's the power the griffin represents. We've talked about how the griffin shows the wish for amazing power by combining the lion and the eagle. Now, let's think about the griffin's most famous job in all the old stories. What do people usually imagine a griffin doing? Very often, they imagine it guarding treasure. Look at the griffin standing there in the magic circle. Imagine it perched on a huge pile of shining gold coins, or maybe watching over chests filled with sparkling jewels and precious objects. Can you picture that? Its sharp eagle eyes are watching carefully. Its strong lion body is ready to leap at anyone who dares to come too close. This is the picture many people have. The griffin as the great guardian of gold. Where did this idea come from? Well, a very long time ago, more than 2,000 years ago, a Greek writer named Herodotus wrote about faraway lands. He heard stories about people called the Scythians, who lived far away and were known for having lots of gold. And beyond them, Herodotus heard tales about griffins living in high mountains, guarding amazing amounts of gold hidden there. The stories even said that a group of one-eyed people called the Arimaspians were always trying to steal this gold, but the brave griffins fought hard to protect it. Some people even have a cool idea about where these stories started. They think that maybe ancient people digging for gold found strange bones in the ground, maybe fossils of dinosaurs with beaks and strong bodies. Perhaps they thought these were the bones of the creatures guarding the gold right there under the earth. It's just an idea, but it's interesting to think about. But whether the stories came from fossils or just imagination, the idea became super popular. Griffins guard treasure. And why did people love this idea so much? Because it connects to another very deep human feeling, the desire for value, for things that are precious to us. Think about gold and jewels. For nearly all of history, these things have meant wealth. Having wealth means having security, maybe being able to buy food, have a safe home, or take care of your family. It can mean having more choices in life. So, wanting wealth, or at least wanting enough to feel secure and comfortable, is a very normal human feeling. The griffin guarding gold is like a powerful symbol of how much people value this kind of security and prosperity. It shows that things of great wealth need great protection. Look at our griffin again. It looks like it would be very, very good at protecting something valuable, doesn't it? But here's something really important. The treasure that the griffin guards isn't always just gold or jewels. Sometimes, the treasure is something you can't even hold in your hands. Think about where else people put pictures or statues of griffins. They often put them at the entrance to important places, like temples, special buildings for worship, or tombs, where important people were buried. Now, what kind of treasure would a griffin be guarding there? It probably wasn't piles of gold coins sitting out in the open. In these special places, the treasure was often something different. Maybe it was important knowledge. Maybe it was sacred secrets, like the secrets of religion or magic. Maybe it was the wisdom passed down from wise people of the past. Or maybe it was protecting the connection between people and their gods, or the spirits of their ancestors. These things, knowledge, wisdom, spiritual connection, were incredibly valuable to ancient people, maybe even more valuable than gold. They were treasures of the mind and the spirit. So, the griffin became a guardian not just of material wealth, but also of these deeper, more secret kinds of value. Why would knowledge or wisdom need a scary guardian like the griffin? Well, maybe because getting real knowledge or understanding isn't always easy. Sometimes you have to work hard for it, study for a long time, or even face difficult challenges to learn important truths. The griffin standing guard is like a symbol that says, "What's inside here is very special and important. It's not for everyone. You have to be serious. You have to be worthy. You have to be brave enough to seek it." It protects the value of knowledge and wisdom, showing that it's something precious that needs to be earned or approached with respect. Now, think about your own life. What do you consider treasure? Maybe it is having enough money to feel secure. Maybe it's your family and friends. They are incredibly precious, right? Maybe it's your education or a special skill you have learned. Maybe it's your ideas, your dreams, or your beliefs. These are all different kinds of treasure, things that have great value to you. The griffin, as the great guardian, speaks to that feeling we all have, the desire to protect what is valuable to us, whatever form that value takes. Whether it's the money in our bank account, the safety of our loved ones, the knowledge in our heads, or the beliefs in our hearts, we want to keep these things safe. So, look at the griffin one more time. See its strength, its watchfulness. It represents that powerful instinct inside us to protect value. It reminds us that things worth having are often worth guarding carefully. The griffin guarding its hoard, whether it's gold or knowledge, is a powerful picture of our deep human need to identify, cherish, and protect the things that matter most in our lives. It's the ultimate symbol for keeping treasures safe. We've seen how the griffin represents the wish for power and the protection of treasure. Now let's explore another huge reason why this creature was so important to people for so long. The griffin as the ultimate protector, a symbol of safety. Look closely at the griffin standing there in the magic circle. Notice its posture. It looks alert, watchful, ready. It doesn't look sleepy or distracted. It looks like it's on guard duty. This image of the griffin as a vigilant guardian is incredibly important. Think about it. Where did people in the past often place images or statues of griffins? We mentioned temples and tombs, but they also put them on palaces where kings and queens lived, on important government buildings, and even flanking huge city gates. Why would they put this fierce-looking creature in such important places? They put them there because they believed the griffin offered protection. Its very presence was like a magic shield, meant to keep away danger, bad luck, or evil forces. Imagine walking up to a grand palace thousands of years ago and seeing two huge stone griffins, one on each side of the main entrance. Seeing them there would make you feel that this place was strong, well defended, and important. It was a clear message. This place is protected. Do not mess with us. Why was the griffin such a perfect symbol for protection? Well, think back to its parts. It has the lion's strength. A lion can fight off enemies. Its roar alone can be terrifying. So the griffin has the power to stop physical threats, to fight back against anyone or anything that tries to cause harm. But it also has the eagle's eyes. Remember how eagles can see everything from high up? This gave the griffin the idea of vigilance, always watching, always alert. It wasn't just strong, it was aware. People imagined it could see dangers that ordinary people might miss, maybe even sense invisible threats or bad intentions. So, the griffin offered protection against both the dangers you could see and the ones you couldn't. Look at our griffin in the circle. Imagine those sharp eyes scanning constantly, missing nothing. It's the perfect combination for a guardian, strong enough to fight and watchful enough to see the fight coming. This idea of protection wasn't just about physical safety either. Sometimes, the griffin was connected to ideas of justice and keeping things in balance. In some old Greek myths, griffins were linked to a goddess called Nemesis. Nemesis wasn't just about revenge. She was about making sure people didn't get too proud or arrogant, didn't try to take more than their fair share, or defy the gods. The griffins associated with her became symbols of making things right, of protecting the proper order of the world against chaos and unfairness. They stood for protecting not just places, but also important rules and principles. This strong connection to protection, strength, vigilance, and even justice made the griffin a very popular symbol for soldiers and noble families, especially later in history, during the time of knights and castles. You would often see griffins painted on shields or flags or woven into banners. This was called heraldry, the system of symbols used to represent families or groups. Why would a knight want a griffin on his shield? Because it sent a powerful message. It said, "I am strong like the lion. I am watchful like the eagle. I am a brave defender. I protect my land, my family, and my honor." Seeing a griffin on a coat of arms meant that the person or family valued courage, leadership, watchfulness, and the duty to protect what was theirs. It was like wearing a badge of honor that declared you were a protector. Look at the griffin again. It looks noble, doesn't it? Like it would be a loyal and fierce defender. Now, let's connect this to ourselves. Think about how important feeling safe is to every single one of us. It's one of the most basic human needs. We want to feel safe in our homes. We want our families and loved ones to be safe. We want to feel secure in our communities. We build locks for our doors, create laws, have police officers and firefighters, all because we have this deep need to be protected from harm, from danger, from chaos. We long for a sense of order and security in a world that can sometimes feel unpredictable or even scary. The griffin, as the great protector, speaks directly to this fundamental human need. It's the perfect picture of the ideal guardian. Incredibly strong, always watchful, brave, fair, and never giving up. Seeing a griffin, even just in a picture or as a statue, could make people feel a little bit safer, a little more secure. It was like having a powerful ally watching over you. It represents the hope that protection is possible, that vigilance, paying attention, and being careful has real power, that the things we care about, the people we love, our homes, our values, can be defended against threats. The griffin is like the ultimate bodyguard, the super guardian we wish we had watching over us and everything we hold dear. So, when you look at this griffin standing guard in its magic circle, Remember this powerful meaning. It's not just standing there, it's watching, it's protecting. It's a timeless symbol of that deep, universal human longing for safety, for security, for a powerful shield against the dangers and uncertainties of the world. It's the wish for a guardian who is always there, always ready, always strong enough to keep us safe. So, we know the griffin represents power, guarding treasure, and being a great protector. But another amazing thing about the griffin, the one standing right here in our magic circle, is how old and famous it is. This isn't a brand new monster invented for a recent movie. Oh no. The griffin is an ancient friend, a figure that people have known and talked about for thousands of years. Remember we talked about where the first ideas might have come from? Places in the Near East, like ancient Persia, and especially ancient Greece, a very long time ago. That's where the griffin really became famous, with its lion body and eagle head. But the story didn't stop there. As time went on, the griffin traveled through history, appearing again and again in different places and times. Let's think about the Middle Ages, the time of castles, knights, and cathedrals, maybe around 1,000 years ago. During this time, people loved books called bestiaries. These were like encyclopedias of animals, both real ones like lions and dogs, and imagined ones like unicorns and, yes, griffins. Imagine monks or artists back then, carefully drawing pictures of this very creature we see now, perhaps in gold ink on old parchment paper. In these medieval books, people thought about the griffin in interesting ways. Because it was part lion, earthly, and part eagle, heavenly, some people thought it represented Jesus Christ, who was both human, from earth, and divine, from heaven. Because it guarded valuable things, they thought it could represent Christ protecting the human soul, or the church protecting God's teachings. Its strength could also show the power needed to fight against evil or temptation. So, for many people in the Middle Ages, the griffin was a symbol of divine power and protection. Look at our griffin. You can imagine people seeing something holy or righteous in its strong stance. Then, after the Middle Ages, came a time called the Renaissance. This was a period, maybe 500 or 600 years ago, when people got really interested again in the ideas and art from ancient Greece and Rome. And guess who became popular again? Our friend, the griffin. Artists and builders during the Renaissance loved using the griffin. They looked back at the old Greek and Roman statues and drawings. They saw the griffin as a symbol of noble power, great strength, watchfulness, and the importance of learning and knowledge, all things the Renaissance people admired. So, griffins started appearing again on fancy buildings, in paintings, and as decorations. Imagine sculptors carving this powerful griffin shape onto the walls of grand palaces. It regained its feeling of classic majesty and strength. The griffin also flew into the pages of famous books. Great writers used the griffin in their stories to represent big ideas. For example, a famous Italian poet named Dante included a magnificent griffin in his epic poem about a journey through the afterlife. In his story, the griffin pulled a special chariot, and its two natures, lion and eagle, represented the two natures of Christ. Another famous English poet, John Milton, mentioned griffins in his poem Paradise Lost, talking about the old legends of them guarding gold. These famous writers used the griffin because they knew their readers would understand it as a powerful symbol. And remember we talked about heraldry, the symbols used on shields and flags? Well, that continued for centuries too. Families, cities, and even countries used the griffin on their coats of arms. Seeing this griffin shape meant strength, courage, leadership, and protection. It was a way for families to show their history and their values, passed down through generations. Imagine a brave knight riding into battle with this very griffin painted on his shield, a symbol of his family's strength and honor. So, what does all this history tell us? It tells us that the griffin wasn't just a passing fad. It wasn't a monster that people told stories about for a little while and then forgot. No, the griffin stuck around. For thousands of years, across different countries and different beliefs, people kept drawing, sculpting, painting, and writing about the griffin. They kept using it as a symbol. Why? Because the meaning behind the griffin never really got old. The things it represents, that deep wish for power, the combined strength of lion and eagle, the need to protect treasure, whether gold, knowledge, or family, and the fundamental desire for safety, the vigilant guardian. These are feelings and needs that humans have always had. People in ancient Greece felt them. People in medieval castles felt them. People in the Renaissance felt them. The griffin became a kind of timeless symbol, carrying these important human ideas through history. Looking at this griffin in the circle now, it's like looking at a connection to all those people from the past. They looked at creatures like this and saw reflections of their own hopes, fears, and desires. The same hopes, fears, and desires we still feel today. It's an old and famous friend because it speaks a language of human feeling that everyone, everywhere, throughout time can understand. We've journeyed through history with our griffin, seeing how important it was in ancient times, in the Middle Ages, and beyond. But what about now? Is the griffin just a dusty old story, something we only see in museums or history books? Is this amazing creature standing here in the magic circle just a memory? Absolutely not! The griffin, and what it represents, is still very much alive today, maybe in ways you haven't even thought about. The most obvious place we see griffins today is in fantasy stories. Think about popular books, movies, or video games that have magic and mythical creatures. Chances are, you might find a griffin there. Why do writers and artists still use them? Because the griffin is still a fantastic symbol. In these stories, griffins are often shown as noble and powerful creatures. Maybe brave heroes ride them into battle, showing off that amazing combination of lion strength and eagle speed. Or maybe they are wise guardians, protecting secret castles or magical objects, just like they guarded treasure in the old legends. Look at our griffin here. It looks like it stepped right out of one of those epic fantasy tales, doesn't it? It still represents majesty, courage, loyalty, and powerful protection, things we love to see in heroes and their companions. Fantasy writers use the griffin because we instantly understand what it means. It's shorthand for awesome power and reliable guardianship. But the griffin's influence today goes beyond just fantasy stories. Sometimes you might see a griffin used as a logo or symbol for a modern company. Maybe a bank, or a company that provides security, or even a school or university. Why would they choose this ancient mythical creature? They are tapping into those same deep meanings we've been talking about. By using a griffin, they are trying to send a message. They want you to think of them as being strong, reliable, watchful, and trustworthy, good at protecting your money, your safety, or providing valuable knowledge. They are borrowing the griffin's ancient reputation to make you feel secure and confident in them. It's the same idea, using the griffin symbol to represent strength and protection of value. But perhaps the most important place the griffin lives today is not on screens or company logos, but inside us. Think about the feelings and wishes the griffin represents. Do those feel old and dusty? Or do they feel very real, right now, in your own life? Let's think about the lion part of the griffin again. That strength, that courage. Don't we all admire strength? Don't we all wish we had the courage to face difficult challenges in our lives? Maybe a tough situation at work or school, a personal problem, or standing up for what we believe in? That desire for inner strength, for the courage to act, that's the lion heart inside us. Look at the powerful body of the griffin. It's a reminder of that strength we all wish for. Now think about the eagle part. Those sharp eyes, that ability to soar high and see everything. Don't we value vision? Don't we try to understand situations clearly, to see the big picture? Don't we make plans for the future, trying to look ahead? Don't we admire people who have great ideas and insights? That desire for understanding, for foresight, for having clear goals and the vision to reach them, that's like the eagle eyes inside us. Look at the griffin's alert head and watchful eyes. They symbolize that mental sharpness and vision we strive for. And what about the griffin as the great protector? Do we still feel the need to protect things today? Of course we do. Think about how fiercely people protect their children, their families, their friends, even their pets. Think about how we protect our homes, locking doors and windows. Think about how we might defend our ideas, our beliefs, or our reputation. That powerful instinct to guard what is precious, to keep our loved ones safe, to defend what we believe in, that is the guardian griffin acting within us. Look how our griffin stands guard in the circle. It's the picture of that protective feeling we all know so well. And the treasure we guard today? Maybe it's not chest full of gold, but it's still incredibly valuable. Our relationships with people we love are treasures. Our happiness is a treasure. Our health is a treasure. Our memories, our dreams for the future, the values we live by, these are all precious things we want to keep safe and cherish. The griffin reminds us that these modern treasures also deserve our protection and care. So, you see, the griffin isn't just an old myth. It's a symbol for feelings and desires that are still incredibly powerful within us today. The wish for integrated power, strength and vision working together, the deep need for safety and protection, the instinct to guard the treasure we value most in our lives. These feelings haven't gone away just because we live in modern times. Understanding the story of the griffin, understanding why people imagined this creature and what it meant to them, actually helps us understand ourselves better. It gives us a picture, a symbol, for these very real human feelings that drive so much of what we do. When you feel that surge of protectiveness over someone you love, that's your inner griffin. When you work hard to combine your skills and knowledge to succeed, that's your inner griffin. When you strive to be strong and face challenges bravely, that's your inner griffin. The magic isn't just in the circle on the screen. The real magic is how this ancient symbol still connects to us, right here, right now. So, as we look at this amazing griffin one last time, remember its secret. It shows our deep human wishes. The power of the lion and eagle combined, the need to protect treasure, both real and personal, and the longing for safety and protection. This ancient creature is like a mirror, reflecting feelings we still have today. Understanding the griffin helps us understand history, symbols, and ourselves. It's not just a myth. It's a powerful picture of the hopes and desires that make us human. The griffin's message reminds us of the enduring strength within our own hearts,